Team of Fluent Artists, what's happening? We are live. Come in, type your name, where you from in the chat, and we're gonna get rocking and rolling here, man, right on time. All right. I got my phone pulled up so I can read your chats. Let me turn it down. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put it down on the side on this little stand. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen, man. So while we waiting for artists to fill in, we're gonna go ahead and get rocking and rolling. All right, type your name and where you from in the chat so I know that you can hear me. I'm going to share my screen. I know that you're here because you want to sell art, right? Type yes in the chat if you want to sell some art. Like these are Fluent Artists right here, man. So we got Tierra right there. So Galactic Jellies for 2K. Jasmine got checks for her print. She say that's the gift to keep on giving. Man, we're going to spend some time talking about Jasmine and her story, how she made over $15,800 in less than 20 days in a month. And she did that after she set a goal to make 5K in 1 month, but she ended up making over $5,500 in the first week. Miss Joe got the cash on the table. Most sales from Jasmine, Tierra, teaching her kids how to sell art. All right, type yes in the chat if you're ready to sell some art, man. My guy King Art got that cash on the table. So we always tell the truth about making money. Jonte with the 2K Lamb piece, that's why we always show the receipts, all right? We want to inspire you, let you know that you can become an affluent artist. Like my man Joe right here sold this beautiful piece for 2K. Miss Sahara and her daughter getting to that art money, all right? So let's get to it, man. We are ready to rock and roll, all right? So, man, I want to talk to you guys about just, man, staying focused on your dreams of being a professional artist, man. I talk to so many artists and they still have that goal. No matter what kind of job you're working or what you've been doing, type yes in the chat if you still want to be a full-time artist, all right? And so listen, if you haven't succeeded in the past, I want you to know that it's not your fault. I went to art school. I'm an artist as well. And they don't teach us how to become an artist and get collectors and to market yourself and how to sell art. So I know it can be scary to figure out how to sell art online in this economy and get the exposure that you need to be successful. But I'm here to support you and show you there's a new way to do it, all right? And so I want to talk to you about Jasmine and share a little bit of her story. So let me read what she wrote. She said, let me put this in perspective for you guys. Let me back up. She said, I secured not one but two contracts with two different businesses for $7,500 each. Let me put this in perspective for you guys. For years, I gave away my art for free. I joined the Fluent Artists January last year. 1 year ago, I was still selling most of my original art for $200, and my biggest sale this time last year was $500 to a hospital. This month, if I make no more money for the next 10 days, I will have total to make $15,800. I am floored. I never thought this was possible. Type yes in the chat if you want this to be possible for you, okay? Because if you're here right now, my goal is simple. I want to help you become an affluent artist, all right? Let me come step out, make sure that I can still see the screen. Everything is still sharing. Look like we stopped sharing there for a quick second. All right, we should be back, all right? All right, so my goal is to help you become an affluent artist, okay? And this presentation is designed for two types of artists. First, if you are a new artist, you'll get a step-by-step blueprint on how to create art that sells itself on Instagram so you can become an affluent artist that collectors love to buy and tell everyone about. If you are a master artist among us, you'll get the affluent artist secrets on how to smoothly transition to selling your art online at higher prices, keep more of your money, and get the worldwide recognition and status you deserve from the art industry, okay? Then every affluent artist gets access to the new artwork app that makes it simple to sell your art and keep collectors buying over and over again. And so this new opportunity is the key to your desire to consistently sell art online, and it's only achievable by becoming an affluent artist, all right? Type yes in the chat if I help you become an affluent artist so you can make more money selling art. Will you promise to spend a little bit of that with me and my company in the future? I type yes in the chat, all right? So my name is Sharess, and like many of you, I've been an artist my entire life, all right? So that's little Sharess in the top left corner right there. That portrait, that's a self-portrait I did of myself and my son for his first birthday, okay? And I'm a hooper, man. I love playing basketball. I played Division I college basketball, and I absolutely love sports and being active. But now when I was in college, listen, y'all, I didn't have any collectors. You can forget about it. Definitely didn't have any sales skills. And, man, I had a tragedy in college as well. So the day after Christmas, my house burned down. I lost all of my art, and my family, we lost everything, man. It was a very, very difficult time for me. And I ended up dropping out of college that next year. And so I became a starving artist dropout. And as you can imagine, man, I had low confidence. It was still really hard to sell art and break into the art industry. And so I became obsessed with mastering business online. I was like, man, I got to figure out how to sell art online and do it my way and go direct to the collectors. And I knew before I could do that, I needed a mentor, right? I needed some help. So I ended up writing a letter to 19 multimillionaires. And Mike here, he was the first person that responded. And so he became my first millionaire mentor. And Mike hired me to help him market one of his products. And we ended up doing $1,800,000 in 7 days, y'all. All right. So again, that's almost $2 million in a week on that marketing campaign. And everything changed. I ended up writing a #1 best-selling book titled How to Create Lifetime Customers, all about getting customers online and leveraging the internet and mobile technology. I've spoken to different people all around the world, teaching them how to sell their products and services online. I've also helped celebrities like Cynthia Bailey sell her products and services as well. And I've helped a lot of creators make money. But even with this success, man, I still had dreams of being a full-time artist, right? Here I am. I'm a best-selling author. I'm helping people make money online, creating sales and marketing and email campaigns and Instagram ad campaigns. But I still wanted to do my art full-time, right? And then I had an epiphany one day. I was like, you know what? An artist that has that feast of famine or that income roller coaster, it only means that you don't have a consistent flow of collector leads and sales. And then I thought to myself, what would happen if I applied those #1 best-selling internet marketing and sales principles to fine art, right? And so I had a crazy plan. I said, I want to host my very first art event, and I'm going to set a goal to sell out the entire show. And so we both people buying art, enjoying the hors d'oeuvres, man, having great conversations. It was a wonderful time. And this is how we sold a piece for $2,000 at that very first event, okay? And one of my friends, Melissa Mitchell, she's an affluent artist. She was one of the artists that was there. And she said, flashback to this dope art investors event by Sherez May. All of these pieces sold and have already doubled in value. Now, while we were at this event selling art, man, and just having a wonderful time, I started to realize that we had some very real problems, right? Like my marketing brain and my business brain was working. So one, doing it the old way, hosting that art show, it cost me over $5,000 of my own money up front before I knew I could sell art, if any collectors would come, all of that, right? Now, even though we were selling art, because we were using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, it left all of our art sales disorganized. Everything was hard to track. Plus, we couldn't easily follow up with the collectors that have just spent thousands with us, okay? And so if you take a transaction with Cash App or Zelle, for example, it's a lot of really sensitive information that you need that you don't get, right? You generally don't get the customer's email address, you don't get their address, and you definitely don't get their credit card on file, so you can easily charge them for their next piece, right? So we're leaving a lot of money on the table. And this is what inspired the affluent artist movement, because I couldn't find a solution that worked the way I wanted it to. I had to create a new way for you to have 100% unlimited access to your collector's information and a tool that makes everything easy to sell your art online and offline. And so as an affluent artist, you need one system that accepts payments up to $1 million. You should be able to easily sell your art anywhere, in person or online. You should be able to track your artwork, sales, and collectors' information in one place. We want collectors to buy our art with one click, like we buy things on Amazon. Ideally, collectors can track their net worth in your art so they see your value increase as an artist. And man, we want interested collectors to come to you. Type me in the chat if you want collectors to come to you because they're interested in buying your art. I put me in the chat. And so back to that art show, man, I want to tell y'all a little bit about those results. Now, I did not reach my goal of selling 100% of the artwork, but I sold 2/3 of the art. Most importantly for me, for doing my first show, every artist made money. We all made money. And we had sales of $500, $1,500, and we had one artwork sale for $2,000 at that very first show. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for $2,000 or more at your first or next show. I see the yes and the me's coming through. And so Melissa, man, told you she was at that event and she sold out all of her pieces. Okay, man, it was a very, very powerful showing for her. And leveraging that event, we ended up doing shows in Miami for Art Basel, and I went around consulting and helping different artists make sure that they get their art sold. And so this is us down in Miami for Art Basel. Now, then I was like, man, what would happen if we took these principles for selling art online, offline, and start helping artists sell online? And we did just that, man. So here's Chris Lanice. She had a small email list of only 32 collectors, and she sent out an email campaign and she sold 13 pieces. Type yes in the chat if you like to send an email and get 13 new collectors with one email. I want to see the yes, please. I see I do, please. I see the yeses coming through. All right. This stuff was powerful, man. Santana started using it. She got a $360 commission right here. All right. And you see the chase payment. We always tell the truth about making sales. Here's my guy, Dwayne. He says, sold, another piece of art gone like the wind. All right. That's another piece. All right. Not his first piece. And so, artists, if you struggle, it's not your fault. Look, I'm an artist as well. I went to college, and you will have some great teachers. You'll be inspired by your classmates, but they don't teach you how to sell art or get collectors or really market yourself and get exposure, okay? So it's not your fault if you've been struggling to sell your art. Now, I knew that the next thing that I really wanted to do was help artists expand to sell to collectors globally, okay? But the solution was very hard and expensive to create. So I blew over $30,000 of my own money and over a year hiring 2 development teams to create artwork, and they didn't finish the app, okay? I invested every penny to my name, so I really thought about giving up. But I got to thinking about it. I was like, going back to the old way wouldn't work for me. I already tried that. So I found a 3rd development team, and I tried one more time. The new artwork app and automated collector system I created, it started working so well that many artists were selling art within 7 days. And so here's Kira, man. She's one of the youngest artists that we've worked with. And immediately after she learned, she made a sale in the first 19 hours, right when she got done with high school, man. Shout out to Kira. And she currently holds the record for the fastest piece sold, okay, 19 hours. Here's my guy, Affluent Artist Z. He said, I haven't had a chance to report on my record-breaking success this past week. This was a record-breaking success. So he ended up getting $1,829 in deposits by selling 7 prints and 8 commissions. Type yes in the chat if you're ready to start having some record-breaking successful weeks, okay? Type yes in the chat. And then here's Jennifer, Fluent Artist Jen, one of my favorite stories. She's a single mother of 4 kids, and she sold a piece in a little over 24 hours. So she was like, it took a little longer than 24 hours, but I have my first sale. It's amazing how much money I left on the table by not following up, all right? And so also, if you have past collectors that you haven't been reaching out to and marketing to, we show you how to get them to start buying art again as well, all right? So you are sitting on assets and just gold that's waiting to be mined, okay? And so Jen, she was on this webinar that just like you're on right now, and she ended up continuing to compound her success. She got invited to Art Basel, and she sold this beautiful piece, Breakthrough, for $5,840 to this lovely collector couple right here. And then, man, because she's continuing to work on her business, man, she also got invited to London to go learn from Sotheby's by attending the Art Business Institute of Art. Man, type yes in the chat if you'd like to learn how to sell art from Sotheby's and Christie's. These are the 2 biggest art houses in the world, and they are absolutely rocking and rolling selling art. She said she felt like she was in heaven. Stay encouraged and keep doing the work, okay? And so the truth is this. After creating artwork and helping all kind of artists around the world transform into affluent artists, I realized we no longer had to wait for galleries to accept us or wait on word of mouth to sell art or already have a big following on social media. The old way of being a starving artist was dead, all right? And so artists, this is your golden ticket to a full-time successful art career if that is your goal, okay? I see the yeses coming through, so yeah, that's how I feel, all right? Now, in order to do this, though, I need something from you, and that's belief, all right? I will give you the solution to become a full-time affluent artist, but you have to believe you can and put it into action, because nothing hurts me more than giving you the game, then seeing you weeks, months, or years later clinging to the same starving artist problems, okay? And so, man, type yes in the chat if you want to get like Brisha Jones. So she set a goal to make $12,000 in a quarter. But she said, as of today, I'm super happy to have report that she hit over $13,000 instead, all right? And so if you're ready to start exceeding your sales goals, type yes in the chat, okay? She said, keep going, motivation, affluent artist. And so because of all of this success that we've been having helping artists sell, man, the country of Barbados had their senators reach out to me, and they flew me into the country to help those artists come up with an opportunity to sell their art to collectors globally, okay? And so in Barbados, just like many other countries in the Caribbean, their tourism dried up after 2020, right? And so people weren't traveling, and so the artists really weren't making any money. And so they wanted to get connected to artwork so they can access a global marketplace of collectors, okay? And so we having a worldwide impact on the artists that we've been able to serve. And it's a very, just a powerful experience for me to be able to help in this way, okay? And because we were helping artists sell so much art, I also got invited to speak at BlackRock on investing in Black art, okay? And so BlackRock is one of the world's largest asset managers, and they got over $10 trillion in assets. And so we got relationships with collectors that have deep pockets and that look at buying your art as an investment, all right? Type yes in the chat, man, if you want collectors that look at your art as an investment, okay? I want to see them yeses coming through. So after over 20 years in business and helping artists sell worldwide, man, type yes if it's your turn to skip the crazy fees, get repeat collectors, and sell your art online on autopilot. What's up, Kavachi Art? I see the yeses coming through. We got Neil LG. Let's get to it, family, all right? Now, because once you discover these 3 secrets, you'll have the keys to get new collectors online so you can accomplish your dream vision for your art, all right? And so, man, using these secrets, make sure you get a pen and pad because I'm going to show you how Brescia got a $5,008 sale from a new collector, man. One thing you will see about Brescia, she always put these small numbers on the end of her art, right? She don't sell it for 5,000. She sell it for 5,008. It's another like 6K piece that I'm going to show you, and she do the same thing, man. It's interesting, but I like it, though, okay? And so let's get into these 3 secrets to selling art online to fluent artists, all right? So secret number 1, how to make your artwork speak for itself and sell for $2,000 or more on Instagram, all right? So I got my man C Beezy with me, man. Y'all ready to rock and roll? Let's get into it. All right, type yes in the chat, man, if y'all ready to rock and roll and sell some art, okay? So listen, I told y'all I went to Art Basel a few years back. And when I was down there, I'm telling people about my ambition to get back into the art game. I want to sell my art for premium prices and get collectors that really respect my value. And I had all of these so-called experts telling me, well, Sherez, nobody knows you. Man, you dropped out of college. You haven't sold art in a long time. It's going to be difficult for you to sell art for more than a couple of $100, you know, maybe $1,000. Type yes in the chat, man. If you've ever had anybody try to discourage your art dreams, just type yes in the chat, all right? And I knew better than this, though, because I had already did the event and I knew I could, but it was crazy to me how so many people was trying to talk me out of it. And so if you've experienced it, listen, I believe in your creative dreams because there is a new way for all of us to succeed as a fluent artist. And I knew this one secret, and that was success leaves clues, okay? So let's play a quick little game called Could You Do It Better? Have some fun with me. I see the yeses coming through, all right? Type yes in the chat if you think you could do this better, okay? And if you don't think you can do it better, you can say no. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to see what kind of skill sets we got. Just type yes in the chat if you think you can do it better. Type no if you don't think you can do it better, all right? No yes or wrong, no right or wrong answer. All right, I see Neil coming through with the yes. All right, Kavacha said no, respect. LG said yes. Okay, cool. So look, this piece is by Van Gogh and it's titled Portrait of Dr. Gachet. I got to tell y'all some stuff about this piece, man. So why is this piece famous? It is the story of fluent artists. All right, it's the story. And the story has to touch your collector's emotions. All right, write that down. Your story has to touch your collector's emotions. And so this is how you sell your art for higher prices. Some of us have been told to price our art based on time and size, right? When you really think about it, that don't really make much sense. Why? So if you price it based on how much time it takes, man, as an artist, you know, the more you devote to your skill and the more art you create, you're going to get faster and more efficient. So if you think about it, it don't really make sense to price based on time because you actually will be pricing less as you get better and faster at creating. So that don't really make sense. And then the same thing with size. I know we've been taught to price based on square inches or some dynamic like that, but we know wall art that hangs inside people's homes is often more valuable than murals on the sides of buildings, right? So it's not really about time or size. It's about creating your very own art story, okay? And that's an ART story, and that's an acronym. Get your pen and pad ready to write this down, okay? And so I discovered the secret to this at our first live art event because Melissa, man, she came so well prepared for the event. She has a beautiful art behind her. She creates wearable art as well. So you see her head wrap, she made that. And she just is a very well presented artist when you're doing live events and shows with her. But the thing that allowed us to sell this piece for $2,000 at that very first event, it was all about the art story. And so the collector, he didn't have a clue who she was. Now, some of y'all might recognize Melissa, man. Her brand is popping. She's done deals with Ford, Spanx, so many other, man, the city of Atlanta. But this collector didn't know anything about any of that. And so I asked him, I was like, why did you invest $2,000 in a piece of art that you don't know anything about the artist? And he said, Sherez, I think the art is great, but it really was the story that compelled me to buy this piece, okay? He said it was a story. And so if you've been posting online with no sales, and whether you're getting a little engagement like this or you're getting a lot of engagement, right? If you posting what you created it in, the size, if you putting hashtags and you say stuff like DM or email me for pricing, but you're getting crickets, man, just add your art story. You can go from no sales to pre-selling art before it's done. I'm gonna say that one more time. You can go from no sales, adding your art story, and pre-selling art before it's done, like Jasmine. So she said, I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude, art story, and organic conversation building relationships really work. All right, art story, man. This is going to transform the way you sell your art. And so type yes in the chat if you're ready to sell your first or next piece for over $1,000 like Miss Raquel. She was so excited. She said, my first piece sold over $1,000 with them 5 exclamations, okay? Powerful, powerful story behind that, all right? Type yes in the chat if you want to sell your first or next piece for over $6,209 like Brescia Jones here. Just type yes in the chat, all right? And I want to tell you about this piece because Brescia was speechless because of the power of her art story. So she was like, this was a significant sale for her because it was the biggest that she had ever sold. It's a 60 by 48 abstract titled Fearless Expanded, but it was also the highest price that she had ever sold. So she used her art story to break her sales record, okay? And we also have the words from the collector. So give me a moment to read what the collector said so you can see how the story touched her with where she was in her life, okay? So she said, my husband and I had a hard week in an already pretty messed up year. I know we're not special in any regards. Everything seems hard right now for everyone. When my husband and I saw your painting, we first both said, wow, we love that. And then we talked about how it made us feel. Hope, moving out of our comfort zone, leaving a bad year and entering a new place, fearlessness. When we read your thoughts on it as well, it just seemed like we needed it in our home. Thank you for painting this beautiful piece. It will be the conversation piece of the many meals we share with friends as we embrace a new era in the world, one of expanding fearlessness, okay? Type yes in the chat if you see the power that the art story had for Fearless Expanded, like how it impacted this collector and what her and her family was going through. All right, just type yes in the chat, okay? Type yes in the chat if you can see the power of the story. And this is an abstract piece, so your storytelling works on Fearless Expanded as well, okay? And so go ahead and write down these notes, man. We're going to explain to you how to create these powerful art stories. And another thing, some artists need a little help with your stories. Feel free to use AI and Chat GPT to kick out a story for you as well, all right? It's really easy and simple to do, all right? So A equals art star. Who's the art star in your art story, all right? Every story has to have a star. R equals the role. What's the art star's role in your art story, okay? What is the role? What are they trying to do? What do they want to accomplish in a story? Again, this works for abstract art as well. And then T equals twist. What's the emotional twist in your art story? All right. If you like good movies like I do, man, you know a movie does a great job of keeping you on the edge of your seat, excited to see what kind of twists and turns are about to happen. Okay. And so we can apply this to our fine art as well. And so I want to bring you back to this Portrait of Dr. Gachet piece by Van Gogh. And let me show you how they applied the art story framework to sell this for an astronomical price at auction, okay? And so who's the art star? It's Dr. Gachet, all right? This is a portrait of Dr. Gachet. That's simple enough. What's his role? He is Van Gogh's doctor, all right? Easy. But then the fluent artist, what is the twist? The twist is the doctor may have killed Van Gogh, all right? So y'all know people love murder mysteries. Man, everybody be nosy in other folks' business. So people were really going crazy trying to figure out the mystery around Van Gogh's death. They were wondering, did the doctor kill him? Did he paint his last portrait of his killer? And this story became so widespread that it ended up selling for a record-breaking $82.5 million at Christie's, okay? All right, so I'm gonna have a little fun in the chat, man. I'm looking at the chat, man. I know some of y'all are here. Y'all are just getting started. We got some new artists that haven't sold anything, or you haven't sold anything in a while. That's totally cool. Man, some of y'all want to make sales for your first $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 a year. All right. But if you want to make millions selling art like Sherez, man, put the money bag emoji in the chat. Put the $ 82.5 million. Right. You can put the smiley emoji with the money tongue. Just show me in the chat, man, if you want to make millions. All right. Let me know in the chat. Have some fun with me, because I know success leaves clues. Okay. I know success leaves clues. So I want to see, man. All right. So becoming an affluent artist and creating your art story allows your art to truly sell itself for higher prices. All right. Can you see how this helps you sell more art? Type yes in the chat if you can see how this helps you sell more art. Okay. Kavacha Art says, how can I show you my art? Man, you got to wait until the end. Okay. You can join our community and you can show us your art. All right. I see the 82.2. All right. Let's go. Put that money bag in the chat for me, man. Let's go. All right, so affluent artist, this works for you if you are a painter, sculptor, you do acrylic pouring, you create jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It works for all affluent artists at all prices, okay? And so Melissa, I told you she was at that event, and using the power of her art story, she was able to sell 100% of her available artwork at the event. All right. Type yes in the chat if you're ready to sell out your next art show. Just type yes in the chat, man. If you want to sell 100% of your art by leveraging the power of your art story and telling better stories with your art. Okay. And so let's get into it, man. We rocking and rolling. All right. So we back to it. 3 secrets to selling art online. Let's get into secret number 2, how to sell art on autopilot and get collectors to buy with one click on one easy app. All right. So artists, I got to tell y'all this story, man, because this piece represents a turning point in my career as an artist and a collector. Okay. Because I could not believe this happened. And so I ended up running to one of my old classmates from the College of Art and Design, and he invited me to his art show. And so I'm an artist, but I'm also a collector too. I love investing into artists in my local community, man. Like, I get it, man. You spend time honing your craft and creating dope stuff in the world. I like to buy it. Okay. And so when I saw this piece, man, I absolutely loved it. I love the colors. I love the hair, the haircut, the earrings, the profile. Like, it's just really fly to me. And one of my guys made it, right? And so when I saw him, after I saw this piece, I'm like, man, I want to buy this before someone else does. So I walked up to him with my business credit card in hand. I'm practically pressing it in his chest. And you know what he told me? He said, Sherez, I can't take your payment because people usually cash at me. And that literally like blew my top off. All right, man, type me in the chat if you've ever had to turn down some money. Type me in the chat because you couldn't take the payment. All right. And so I want to just highlight the old, slow, hard, and expensive way to sell art. Okay. So before we do that, though, rule number 1 is get paid. All right. Now, listen, I don't care how you get your coins. You got to get paid. You can't be turning down money. All right. Everybody put get paid in the chat. Everybody put get paid in the chat. We cannot be turning down sales. Okay. And so if you can't take any payments in 2026, man, you got to step your game up and raise your level. All right. If you're still using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, etc., again, these are cool to get paid, but you're going to have to raise your level of professionalism, because some collectors don't want to send you $5,000, $10,000 or more on Cash App, Zelle, or Venmo. Why? They don't get a receipt. There's no guarantee that you're going to deliver the work. And if you don't, they won't be able to get their money back, right? So after certain price points, man, these tools will begin to hurt you, okay? They're an easy way to get started, but you got to raise your level, okay? And then also social selling. So listen, we found here, man. Type guilty in the chat if you've ever put a picture of your art online and said something like email or DM me for price. Just put guilty in the chat. I see the get paid coming through. All right, type guilty in the chat. So listen, don't be ashamed, man. We've all done it, okay? And then also orders on paper. Man, I ain't gonna let you, I'm not gonna get you to tell on yourself, but we gotta raise your game up, all right? You gotta present yourself as a professional. We can't keep taking orders on paper. and then applying and paying for shows. So listen, if you are applying and paying for shows and it's working for you and it's profitable, please keep doing it. But I know some artists, man, you rent out vans, trucks, and you taking your art to these places, you're not selling anything, and you taking everything back, man, right? You could really be sinking a lot of costs. And then also, some artists, you put your art on a bunch of different marketplaces, you're not getting any sales. You might have a website, you may not, but you don't know who's coming, how long they stand. You just know you're not selling as much art as you like, okay? And so to solve all of these problems, we created Artwork. Man, it's a fun and easy, simple tool that's going to allow you to sell your art, and collectors can buy with one click. You can manage all of your sales in one place. And artists are getting incredible results with Artwork. So Tierra, she said she uploaded some of her original art on the app. And after a couple of days, she got a notification that one of her pieces sold. She said, I'm still in shock a bit at how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night. Seriously, thank you, Sharess, for perfecting the app. It definitely is a game changer for us as artists, all right? Now, I want to show you a quick demo video on how simple and easy it is to use Artwork. This is our demo account. We didn't want to have any sensitive collector data in here, but go ahead and just take a peep and see how easy it is to sell your art and get collectors to buy with one click.
Hey, my name is Sharess May, and I want to give you a quick demo of the Artwork app. So the Artwork app does two very simple things, all right? If you are an artist, it allows you to sell your art, get collectors all over the world, and manage all of the most important key metrics in your business. And if you are a collector, it makes it simple for you to buy art with the click of a button and track the value of your art collection, all right? And so I'm going to show you the artist side of the dashboard first, then I'll pause and take you to the collector side. So when you're logged in as an artist and you're on your sales dashboard, you'll see your gross revenue, how many pieces you sold, what's the average price, all right? And this sales graph will show you your sales over any amount of time. Right here, you can set a sales goal. If say you set it for $100,000, if you made some sales today, that number will be in blue at the top. And this dial will show you how much you've made. We haven't made any sales today. This is our test account. And if you hover over it, you can see how many sales you made today. And it's really simple to add a new goal as well. As you start making sales, you'll see your top sellers right here. So you see it by name, how many pieces you sold in case you have prints or multiples, and you'll see how much revenue you made from each piece. Right here under your new orders tab, you'll see your latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how much money they've invested with you in your art business, all right? And then once you go to your Artwork tab, this is where you'll see all of the art that you have listed on the site, ready for sale, and also in the marketplace for collectors to buy with one click. So let's say you want to add art. It's very simple. You click Add Artwork. You just have to fill out these fields right here. And once you click Save, it'll save it. I'm just going to close that. If you want to email it to a collector, you can click Share Offer, enter your collector's email, send the offer. Email is already pre-written. They can click directly to the link and buy your art. If you like to copy a link, you can copy it as normal and send it via text message or share it on social media. And also, if you want to delete your product, it's very simple and easy to delete. As collectors begin buying art from you, you'll see collectors in your dashboard. So you see all of the information right here, so you can contact with them and follow up with them and make future sales. If you click on their dashboard, you'll see a list of all of the art they purchased from you here. As your orders start coming through, you'll see your order and payment history right here. So you see if they were successful or failed transactions, all right, who bought it, the artwork, the purchase amount, and the date. And then as your money is being in transit to your bank account and deposited, you will also see your payouts here, all right? And so when you want to begin buying as a collector, all you have to do is click Switch to Collector, and it'll take you to the collection side of the marketplace, all right? And again, this is our test marketplace right here, but I'm going to pause for a moment to show you how simple it is to buy as a collector. So now I'm logged into the app as our test collector. And so you see when art is sold out, it'll be sold out in the marketplace, all right? And you can just scroll through the marketplace to check out all of the art that's available on the dashboard, all right? And so let's say if you want to buy something, it's very simple. You can click Buy Now. And if we have your card on file, you can choose which card you want to use. If you need to add a new one, you can do that. But let's say we want to select this card. We click confirm order. And it's that simple, all right? It's purchased. And so now if you want to go check your collection, you can click collection and it'll take you to your collection. You see, we just purchased this one right here, all right? So you can see all of your active collection. And as you are buying from artists, you can also see the artist that you're purchasing artwork from, all right? So I'm going to go back to the marketplace real quick. And let's say if you want to add it to your cart, you can add it to your cart. So you want to get a couple in there. And you can easily check your shopping cart to go to the checkout page and buy all of the pieces at the same time. So it's a very simple tool for artists to sell their art and also for collectors to buy and track the value of their collection as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Talk to you soon.
All right, type yes in the chat, man, if you loving artwork. All right, show me some love in the chat, man, if you like how simple and easy it is to use artwork. So I want to answer a few FAQs. So first, artists, you can set your own price. We like to write our art story and put it in the description so the collector can see it. Again, man, we love leveraging AI. You can use ChatGPT to help you create your art story. Collectors can buy multiple pieces at one time by adding to their shopping cart. And we like to add the shipping fee to our art price, okay? So for example, if we're selling a piece for $1,000 and the shipping is $100, we'll list it at $1,100. Artists, if it's a physical piece, you will ship it directly to the collector after they buy. Sales deposit in your account in 24 to 48 hours, so you get paid really quickly. And then artwork gets a small 10% commission, okay? And so I love to show different sales from different artists, different skill sets, different price points, okay? Because everybody can sell art. You can sell art up to $1 million with artwork, all right? So Jen sold Purpose right there. Man, she uses real butterflies in her work. Absolutely love Jen's work. I'm a fan. Tierra sold Bright Future. Love these pastels. And then Christina sold Veil of Night. Type yes in the chat, man. If you want to be like Magdalena, she said, I'm happy I sold my first piece in artwork. Many thanks to my new collector. She sold Natural for $1,850. And then also what's really cool about artwork, when you get a sale, man, you get these notifications letting you know when you got money on the way, all right? It's always cool to get these money messages, okay? And so now I've shown you how using the artwork app allows you to easily sell more art online and keep all of your prices, collector, and business info in one place. Type yes in the chat if you can see how this saves you time, money, and makes it simple to sell your art, all right? Type yes in the chat if you can see how easy it is. It saves you time, gives you your time back. It's going to save you money, and collectors can buy your art with one click, all right? Man, let's get into it. We are rocking and rolling, all right? These are the 3 secrets to selling your art online. Now, listen, secret number 3, man, this is the one artists absolutely love. If you haven't taken a note yet, man, I highly recommend that you do now, okay? Because secret number 3, I'm going to show you how to find and attract the same buying collectors as Sotheby's using Instagram and AI, all right? Now, after our first wave of Affluent Artist success, I knew I wanted to help more artists get high-income collectors online with AI and online ads. Now, let me know if this is happening to you, right? Because I've seen artists struggling to make sales with their posts on social media and when they're posting inside of art groups, right? You get a lot of likes. You might get some comments and some hearts and reactions, but we know likes do not equal money, okay? We know that engagement is cool, but that is not money in the bank, right? And so I've been seeing artists struggle with this. And man, while I love friends and family sales, man, sometimes your friends and family network can run out, right? And so, man, I love these sales though. So like Tierra, she sold Galactic Jellies for $2,000 to a friend. Mr. Emmanuel, he sold this piece for $500 to a sister that he know from his local church. I love these, man. But sometimes we need global exposure, right? Or at least, man, to your whole state, your whole city, or your entire country, right? You may not want to go worldwide, but you may want to go countrywide, okay? And so we need the opportunity to do that. And so because of my experience buying ads on social media, I knew there was only one place I needed to go to get ready to buy collectors, and that's Instagram, all right? Everybody's on Instagram, okay? Rich people, all the collectors on Instagram, people are selling art on IG all the time. And so when we started doing this with new artists, man, I was blown away about how fast the results that artists would get. So Chrissy, she said, okay, I'm about to cry right now. On my own way of selling, I would have gotten $200 for this piece, and it would have taken me a while to get that. So I followed the steps of this course. I made an ad. I spent only $7 and sold my piece for $700, and it only took her a few hours to sell. All right, man, type cents in the chat, like dollars and cents, CENTS. If it makes sense for you to spend $7 on ads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and make $700 or more selling art. Man, type cents in the chat if that makes sense to you. Put in your price point, whatever price you sell at. Man, would you invest $7 in ads to make $700 or more? Right? Man, that's a return on investment. That's how you create real revenue and sales for yourself, okay? And so she got a $700 sale in only a few hours of advertising, and she made over $2,300 in her first 3 weeks doing this, and she was new, okay? And so again, artists, always remember, success leaves clues. And so this Forbes article, it said with Sotheby's $363.2 million sale, the art market passes the first major test of the pandemic, okay? And then the Business Insider article said, for now, the art world has gone digital. And for some, that's a good thing. And that's for us, okay? For the affluent artists, that is a good thing. Artsy, which is an online art marketplace, said they saw a 92% increase in e-commerce sales, and interest from galleries increased by 60%. So these collectors are starting to buy art and spend millions of dollars on art online, okay? And so, man, we know Sotheby's is one of the biggest art brands in the world. We just saw the Forbes article says Sotheby's, they launched a $363.2 million sale. Type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to target those collectors that's already spending millions at Sotheby's. Type yes in the chat, because that makes sense to me, okay? If collectors are spending millions at Sotheby's, I want to put my art in front of those collectors that's already spending millions, all right? And so if that makes sense to you, all we got to do is click that green create ad button. And it's going to take us to a place called detailed targeting, okay? Everybody type the word financial in the chat, all right? Type financial in the chat for me, okay? When we get to this detailed targeting section, so we can target Sotheby's, which is one of the biggest art brands in the world. But when we add that financial layer to it, we can target the top 5% of household income earners that like Sotheby's, okay? So we can target the wealthiest 10% of income earners. And we can target the wealthiest 10 to 50% of household income earners that are already buying art with Sotheby's, okay? So listen, man, if this is blowing your mind, if you're new to this information, put wow in the chat. You can put the mind-blown emoji. If you didn't know that you can put your art in front of wealthy collectors that's already spending millions on art, all right? Put wow in the chat, put the mind-blown emoji in the chat, and I'm going to show you a couple of more examples to really bring this home, all right? So we all know Art Basel is one of the biggest art fairs in the world right now. They do one in Miami in December, and it's dope, man. If you haven't been, I highly recommend just going. If you ever had a chance to go, okay? And so we know if you go to Art Basel, you spending money on flights, hotels, food, travel, art, right? All of the stuff that's going on around the festival. And so these collectors are spending a lot of money. And so if we wanted to target the collectors that's spending all that money to attend and experience Art Basel, all we got to do is type the Art Basel brand inside of Instagram, put in the word financial, and now we can target the wealthiest collectors that's spending all that money at Art Basel. We can target the top 5% of income earners, top 10% of income earners, and the top 10 to 50% of household income that are spending money at Art Basel. I'm going to give you one more example, man. Man, this is out of this world, all right? So Artsy. So we saw the Business Insider article that said Artsy had a 92% increase in e-commerce sales in April, okay? And so if we wanted to put our art in front of those collectors that's going to spend all of that money online, all we got to do is type in financial and check that out, man. Top 5% of household income, top 10% of zip codes that make the most household income, and the top 10 to 50% of zip codes that make the household income, all right? I see the wows coming through. We got the wow in all caps. Let's go, man. Because now we have the key to success, artists. Because when you want to sell art online or really anywhere, you got to have collectors that have two things. The first thing is these collectors have to have the willingness to buy. And that simply means that you like art, right? But if you like Sotheby's, if you like Art Basel, if you like Artsy, I know you like willingness to buy, all right? That second thing, when we put that financial layer on, these collectors have the ability to buy now, okay? If you love art, but you don't have money, man, you don't have the ability. But if you love art and we put that financial layer on, now we know we're showing our art to collectors that have the ability to buy art, all right? And this type of access changes everything because this what allows you to start selling your art anywhere in the world, man. So Nisha Kapoor, she's Indian. She starts selling art in Indian rupees, man. I had never seen anybody sell art with our program in Indian rupees. She said, Sherez, your system rocks. I got another celeb lead as a result of my ads, and we spoke on the phone, and the person is willing to buy. Okay. She said, thank you. Thank you. Miss Valerie, she's a senior, a grandmother. She sold $3,250 from her ads, and all of the technology was new for her, man. This is powerful. If a grandmother can do it, you can absolutely do it. Christy, she spent $45 on ads, and she made $1,400 in a day and a half, man. This stuff works. Type yes in the chat if you like to invest $45 on ads and make $1,400 or more. Man, let me share my screen again. Look like it went off. Give me a second. Let me come back. Okay, we should be good. If y'all can see the screen, type yes in the chat. Want to make sure y'all can see the screen. All right. She spent $45 on ads. And made $1,400 in a day and a half. All right. Let me see. I don't see it on my little camera yet. Hold on 1 second. Let me stop sharing. Oh, y'all can't see it. Okay. Let me go back and tie the screen. You said can't. Okay. I couldn't either on my mini screen on my little chat over here. Let me come back like it went away. All right, there we go. It's back now. All right. So, man, she got over 800 likes, 200 comments, over 100 shares, and about 300 messages. Man, the only thing she did that I don't love is she turned the ad off because it was too many people coming, right? These are good problems to have right here. All right? She turned it off too soon because she was so overwhelmed with the amount of collectors and attention that she was getting, okay? And my man Joe Woods he's right here. He said, and this happened last night. So my man Joe, he sold a $2,000 piece from his ads while he was asleep, all right? So, man, put sleep money in the chat. You can put the money bag emoji, put the bed in there. If you want to wake up to new sales because your Instagram ads was running 24/7 around the clock and a collector purchased while you were asleep, put sleep money in the chat, put yes in the chat if you like to have this experience like my man Joe Woods right here. Man, I love waking up to new money. I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely love it, okay? And so now I've shown you how to find wealthy, ready-to-buy collectors with AI and Instagram ads. As an affluent artist, can you see yourself using this secret to get high-paying collectors? Just type yes in the chat if you can see yourself using this to get high-paying collectors. I want to see the yeses coming through, man. This is super easy. Sleep money, LG, let's go, all right? And so, artists, so far you discovered how to create your art story to raise your prices, how artwork makes it easy to share your art via text, email, or social, how to sell art to a worldwide collector marketplace, how to get collectors to buy your art with one click, how to use financial layering to target high-income collectors, okay? And so knowing what you know now, do you feel more confident pricing your art? Type yes in the chat if you feel more confident with your pricing, just using your art story. Hey, man, are you happy you attended this live class today? We are live, man. Type yes in the chat if you think this was a good use of your time, man. I want you to make sure that you get here and get some breakthroughs so you can use this free class to start selling art. Type yes if you're happy that you showed up for yourself, okay? And do you realize the advantage you have as an artist using these techniques, man? All artists don't know how to do this yet. Man, we're trying to get this information out to artists all over the world because we're transforming people's lives in the US, Canada, Barbados, over in Africa, man. This is powerful information, okay? And then type yes if you can see yourself using this to sell more art. Just type yes, all right? If you can see yourself using this to sell more art. And can you see yourself getting new collectors with this? Just put a yes in the chat. I see the yeses coming through. And would this transform your life, right? Think about it. If you follow what I showed you in secret number 1 and use any art story so your art sells itself on Instagram, then you did what I revealed in secret number 2 so you can use the artwork app to easily sell more of your art. And then you use secret number 3 to get access to the same high-paying collectors on Instagram that the rich auction houses and galleries attract. Do you think you could be successful? Type yes in the chat. I see the yeses coming through, man. I absolutely agree, okay? And what if I helped you? Type yes if you would like my help. Just type yes in the chat if you would love for me and my team to help you start selling your art like we've helped all of these artists, okay? If so, you got 2 choices, artists. Choice number 1, you can do what you've always been doing, okay? Now, if you do this, you'll continue to get the same results. Whatever results you've been getting now, if you take the same actions, you're going to get the same outcomes. All right. Choice number 2, we offer a way for you to sell with handheld mentorship, and our goal is to help you sell $10,000 or more worth of art every single month. All right. We got a system. We're helping artists do that. Man, we are ready to rock and roll and help you get your sales, man, going in 2026. Okay. And so type yes. I see please coming through. Type yes if it's okay if I spend a few minutes going over a very special offer to help you accomplish your dreams. I see the yes. I see the please coming through. So I want to introduce you to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. It is a fun and easy 5-step system for visual artists to raise prices, get new collectors, and sell $10,000 a month or more worth of art online. Okay. And so part number 1 is the actual masterclass. So step number 1 is mindset. This is where we cover that millionaire mindset so you can get rid of all starving artist broke habits. Step number 2 is price. This is where we teach that luxury pricing method in the art story so you can start charging your worth with your price. Step number 3 is sold. All right. This is where we teach you our cash collector system so you can start making sales in advance before you have to spend any money on ads. Step number 4 is collectors. This is where we show you how to create a collector community so you can have your own collectors that you build a deep, lifelong relationship with that continue to buy and support your art career, okay? And then step number 5 is marketing. This is where we teach you how to use that financial layering and Facebook and Instagram ads so you can target collectors literally all over the country or all over the globe, okay? And so I want to introduce y'all to my guy, Christian Lamar, and just listen to his testimony about the kind of transformation he got after he became an affluent artist and started selling his art.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Christian Lamar here, and I'm a portrait artist from VA. Now I just want to tell y'all why I joined the Affluent Artist Masterclass. I went to a great art school and learned from some phenomenal artists, but they never taught me how to sell my work. So after I graduated, I struggled to the point of almost wanting to give up on my dream of being a professional artist. Well, this course changed all of that. It showed me how to turn my art into a business, and most importantly, how to sell online. So now I can sell to anyone, anywhere. And the results are super quick. I made my first sale within 30 hours of starting the program and made just under $1,500 within the first 5 days. And now that I'm in week 4, I've made just over $4,000. And it's super easy to follow. If you're like me and you're ready to fulfill your dreams of being a professional artist, give the program a shot. And you also get to join a community of artists that share their experiences every day of what works. So join me and the family and become an affluent artist today. All right. Peace.
Shout out to my guy, Christian, man. He came in to get to it. All right? He started selling art quick, man. So artists, again, this works for you if you paint, sculpt, you do acrylic pouring, you create jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, AI art, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It works for all affluent artists at all prices, okay? And so this is Miss Joy in Canada. She got this $4,000 sale. Type yes in the chat if you want to get some of that cash on the table like Miss Joy. Again, we always tell the truth about making money, man. She sold this $4,000 mural called Happy Trails, and she took a picture of that Canadian cash on that table. I love to see it. And it's also, man, this works even if your art isn't ready. I get a lot of artists that talk about they need to create a new collection or get a body of work started. Listen, man, Jasmine, she was still working on this Chadwick Boseman piece, and she pre-sold it just by talking about it on social media and using her art story, all right? So even if your work isn't ready, you still creating it. It can really still be a concept in your mind. If you start telling the story and pre-selling it and making an offer, you can start making sales right now, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and that's a $5,000 value, okay? And then part number 2, we're going to give you an artwork gold account. And so imagine collectors buying from you anywhere in the world, all right? Anybody can get, any collector can get an artwork account and start buying art automatically with one click, all right? So Jen, she sold Emergence and Power for $2,700. She said, I'm so happy and grateful to have sold this piece. I'm going to supersize my Friday night. And I want you to just imagine your new life selling art anywhere, man. You could be anywhere in the world long as you got Wi-Fi, man, you are ready to rock and roll. And I love seeing Miss Yvonne so Spidey senses when the collectors get their kids collecting young, right? Little Spider-Man kind of look like this little collector too, all right? And so when you get your artwork gold account, you'll be able to accept payments up to $1 million, easily sell art anywhere, in person or online. You'll be able to track your art, your sales, and your collectors information in one place. Collectors can buy your art with one click, and collectors can track their net worth in your art, all right? You also be able to get rid of and save money on your website fees using tools like Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, Artsy, Etsy, art storefront fees, Shopify, Artwork Archive, Fine Art America. And the most important savings is that lost time trying to figure it out on your own, okay? And so again, I'm an artist too, man. And so when I first started, I didn't know how to manage my art sales in one place or how to track how much money my collectors spent with me. I also didn't have a global marketplace where collectors could buy with one click. So I had to create artwork for myself. And so 6 years ago, I had to spend over $60,000 and 3 years to figure out how to create an app to solve this problem. Now, I don't want you recreating the wheel, so I'm going to give you an artwork account with this package so you can skip the cost, the trial, and the error. All right, cool? Type yes in the chat if that's cool, man. All right. And so again, this is working fast for artists. Tierra said she was still in shock a bit at how quick the sale happened, but it was a great way to end the night. She said it is a game changer for us as artists. And if you're not tech savvy, listen, that's not a problem, man. We made artwork simple and easy to use. Literally, we have children using it. Their parents set up accounts for them. It's simple, easy, big buttons, easy to understand, man. You are in the right place, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get an Artwork Gold account, and that's the Affluent Artist Masterclass and the Artwork Gold account, and that's a $6,200 value, okay? And then part number 3 is the Affluent Artist Community. And so we literally have a community of artists and collectors in different parts of the world that support you and encourage you to sell your art. And so our network, man, they love serving and they all want to see you succeed. And so when you join today, you get access to our private Affluent Artist School community. This gives you the knowledge, community, encouragement, and motivation you need to succeed in your art career. And so you can access the program and the community anytime from anywhere in the world. Plus, you get unlimited support. So you get 24/7 school group access. Plus, we have a live weekly sales sessions call to make sure you get all of your questions answered, okay? And so once a week, you can talk to our team, a live person, to get help with anything you need so you don't get stuck, all right? We literally hold your hand to make sure that you got what you need so you can start selling art. And man, some of the things I love about the community is we got young artists like Sanyu. She joined when she was 9 years old. Her mom, Miss Jovan, enrolled her into the program. And this is when they came to Atlanta. I got to meet them in person, man. It was really cool. They're some really dope people. And we also got grandmothers, man. So like Miss Phyllis, she was 73 when she joined, and she made a sale in her first week, all right? Man, she said, I introduced myself, showed a few images, watched the welcome videos and the collector practice videos, and I sold 2 drawings. Must be the change in mindset. So no matter how young or how old you think you are, man, you are in the right place. And so I just want you to imagine a community of artists that's literally helping you sell more art, right? Like my guy Sean here, when he sold his MJ print, he said, lesson learned, follow up every time. You never know why somebody ghosts you. I thought maybe my price was too high for her and she was gone for good. Don't make up your own stories as to why they didn't call back. Just follow up and be polite, all right? So we share the wealth of what's working to help everybody sell art, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, the Artwork Gold account, and the Affluent Artist Community, and that's a $7,400 value, okay? And we also got some powerful bonuses for artists that get started today, all right? So bonus number 1 is that luxury pricing method, all right? And so if you're tired of putting time and skill into your art only for buyers to continue lowballing you and not respecting the true value of your art, listen, this luxury pricing method, this had Chrissy saying, holy smokes. She said, I reached out to an old friend and supporter of my art, and I landed a $1,000 mural job. The system works. I was thinking of asking 800, was hoping for 6, but I boldly asked 1,000, and she didn't hesitate, all right? And so she's a single mom. She was watching this class that you're on right now, and she made $1,350 in the first 5 days, all right? If she can do it, you can too. Same thing with Jen. She sold this piece for $5,840. Man, she just put the crying emoji. Brisha Jones, we showed you how she had broke her sales record and sold the biggest piece that she had ever sold at the time, was 60 by 48, Fearless Expanded for $6,209. All right, that luxury pricing method in that art story, this allows you to break your sales records, okay? And so I want you to imagine your confidence skyrocketing because your art store has collectors emotionally invested in buying your art at any price. And so this is your new reality when you become an affluent artist today, all right? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get the Artwork Gold account. You get access to the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get that luxury pricing method, and that's an $8,400 value, all right? And so bonus number 2 is we give you our automated collector system. And so this is a pre-built website template that we use to get new collector leads on autopilot 24/7 from our Instagram ads. All right. So we give you this template. It's pre-built. All you got to do is put in your art, your words, and your videos, and you are ready to rock and roll. All right. And so this is the system that Christy was using when she turned them ads on. She spent $4,500 on ads. She made $1,400 in a day and a half. And she was like, oh my God. Like she said, I hope everyone in this group realizes we struck gold. I'm grateful for this program, man. Man, she said, if something's not working, figure out a different approach. We can't always make the big sales, but the little ones add up quick, right? So this was her perspective. She was just getting rolling, man. And so it flat out works. And so I know many artists, they suffer from that feast of famine income where you sell art some months and some months you don't sell at all. She said, I spent years investing time and money testing which art ads and sales pages work best to turn clicks to collectors so you can have collectors coming to you 24/7. And so we get an endless flow of new interested collector leads joining your email list and buying your art 24/7. This gives you predictable cash to grow your art brand and collector community while sales come in at the same time. And so if you already have a website that's not selling how you like it, feel free to keep it or get rid of it, right? Don't really matter to me, okay? Either way, you can use ours to get new collectors coming to buy your art every day like clockwork. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, that Artwork Gold account. You'll become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get some powerful bonuses, man. You get that luxury pricing method and that automated collector system that's pre-built templates. All you got to do is edit it and get the collectors rolling in. All right, that's a $9,600 value, okay? And then bonus number 3, man, we're going to get you to find your high-income collectors with me, all right? And this is for artists that pay in full today. So we're going to personally help you find high-income collectors on Instagram ads, okay? And so many artists struggle to get exposure to collectors that can't afford their art at the price you think is worth. And so I've spent over $250,000 on Instagram ads on my own money, figuring out the best way to target buyers that have disposable cash to buy your art, okay? So you get instant access to what's working now with Instagram ads and AI. And so right here, I showed you, man, we could target big brands like Sotheby's, which is one of the biggest auction houses in the world. Put that financial layering on, and we can literally put our art in front of collectors that's spending millions of dollars with big art brands right now, okay? And so you can get exposure to collectors that got disposable cash. You'll be able to leverage AI to target the best collectors for your style, and you can predictably get new collectors 24/7 with your ads running around the clock, all right? And so, man, when you start targeting collectors with money, you can get like Jen. She said another deposit for a commission, a $4,369 commission. She threw out a random number, and they said, can they pay it in 3, okay? And then Jasmine, she set a goal. She wanted to sell $5,000 worth of art for the month, but applying this, she actually ended up selling $5,527 for the week. This is how powerful this is, okay? And then Isha, man, she used this to sell a $10,000 custom commission. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell a custom commission or just any art for $10,000 or more like Isha right here, man. This is a beautiful 5-panel piece right here, okay? So you get access to that bonus when you pay in full. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get the Artwork Gold account. You get to become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You get the luxury pricing method bonus, the automated collector system template bonus. And when you pay in full, you'll be able to find your high-income collectors with me, all right? And that's a total value of over $10,600. Now, artists, if all this did was help your art tell stories so your artwork truly sell itself, like how would that help your art career? Let me know in the chat. How would that help your career, okay? If all this did was help you easily sell your art online in any economy, like how would that help and transform your art career? If you knew that you had a system that continued to help you sell art. And if all this did was help you get an infinite amount of high-paying collectors following you and buying your artwork, Type in the chat, let me know, how would that help your art career, okay? And so putting this program together, I had two choices. The first option, I could go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible, but that wouldn't really incentivize me and my team to stack the value, okay? So the second option, it required a little higher investment, but in exchange, we can devote more resources to guarantee your success, okay? And artists, what are your dreams worth to you, all right? If you were making money every day because you were successfully selling your art to collectors on Instagram, what would it be worth to you? Like, how much would you pay to have one automated collector system sell your art online 24/7? So you can see why artists have paid $10,000 for similar results from me, because when you do business with us, it's not a cost, it is an investment, okay? And so you see why it's worth over $10,000. Even at $5K for the general public, it's still a great deal. We got artists selling individual pieces for $5K, $6K, $10,000 or more. So it's still a great deal, all right? But because you are live on this masterclass and I want to help as many artists as possible, I'm going to give you a very special offer, all right? So when you go to affluentartist.com, you won't have to invest anywhere near the $5K general price, okay? And normally if we do a deal, we'll do something like 30% off and do it at a rate of like $3,500, but you won't have to invest anywhere near that today, okay? When you go to affluentartist.com, you can join right now for our special 94% off of only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? And we also have a payment plan that's $4.99 one time, then only $50 a month, okay? And so if you need help ordering, you can text JOIN to 470-777-7549. Again, go to affluentartist.com right now. Let me put this link in the chat for you as well to make it easy for you all to click and join. There you go. And then I'm going to go ahead and pin that too. All right, good. All right. And so artists are using this to make sales every day, man. Here's my guy, Dwayne, making sales. Sean got a $600 payment right there. Miss Valerie, she said she sold 2 paints. She said she blessed, definitely changing my mindset. Miss Phyllis, they both 50+ in the program for a week making sales. Man, so we also do what we call the $1 Million Artist Mastermind, and that's a $25,000 investment, okay? Jasmine, when she came, she said, y'all, I'm at a loss for words here. Artwork Mastermind was beyond anything I imagined. Demetrius, she came, she said one word, epic, okay? And so if you wanted us to hold your hand in person, man, this is what it would require. But you could join today for a fraction of that when you go to affluentartist.com and get your hand held online, okay? And after Jasmine had her one-on-one help, man, she sold $5,527 in 1 week, okay? Her goal was $5K for the month. She was coming in. She wanted to replace the income on her job. She did that in the first 7 days. All right, you can get access to the same system when you go to affluentartist.com. And so if you were to hire an online marketing professional, go back to an art school, or attempt to get a dealer or gallery to sell your work to collectors for you, it might cost you $25,000, 30 to 50% of your profits, or years of your life trying to figure this out. You can skip all of that expense and headache by going to affluentartist.com and enrolling right now, okay? Even if you take the payment plan, it's only $663 per day to start selling your art online. That's like a large coffee at Starbucks or a small breakfast at McDonald's, okay? And so you got 2 choices now. You can do it on your own. If you do this, you'll get the same results, all right? But you also can get handheld mentorship and sell $10,000 or more when you go to affluentartist.com and join today, all right? And so we also give 110% money back guarantee. So if you sign up now, if Affluent Artist does not help you sell more art and get more collectors, you will have 2 options. Option 1, you follow the steps and decide it's not for you, and you can win 110% of your money back just for trying it out, okay? Option number 2, you say, Sharesh, listen, I want to grow in my Affluent Artist career, and I really want to sell $10,000 or more every single month worth of art. Man, stick around in the program. We got your back. We're going to help you get rocking and rolling and hit your sales goals, okay? And so why do we do this? Why do we have this kind of guarantee? Frankly, we do it for a selfish reason. That's because I know that it's a win-win, all right? And so this makes it a no-brainer for you to join, and I know we can help you succeed. And so when you sign up, I know for a fact one of these 2 things will happen. 1, you will sell $10,000 a month worth of art and get new collectors, okay? Or 2, you will win $1,100 from us just for trying it out when you go to affluentartist.com. Now, we do have a few qualifications. to win the 110% money back guarantee. And it's simple. First, you just have to earn a 100% completion by watching the Affluent Artist Masterclass. So this just means we know you're going through the program. Second, you got to take action on the Affluent Artist Masterclass. If you got questions, attend the live sales session every week so we can answer them to make sure you're not stuck and you're continuing to make progress in making sales, all right? And ultimately, the goal is to sell art. So we want you to use it to actually sell art and make some money and put some cash in your pocket, okay? And we want you to share your results on social media as well. And so when you join and become an affluent artist, your profit is guaranteed. Again, option one, you follow the steps, decide it's not for you, win your money back. Option two, you will grow in the affluent artist community. We'll continue to help you achieve $10,000 a month or more in sales when you join today at affluentartist.com, all right? And so the real question is it worth taking a few minutes to check this out, man? Absolutely, okay? Because even if it does half of what I say today, it will pay for itself as soon as you sell one painting for $1,000. And artists, you are just one collector away from really transforming your life forever when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to that Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and we got some powerful bonuses when you join today, all right? You got the luxury pricing method, the automated collector system templates, and when you pay in full, you can hop on to Find Collectors with me. And that's a total value of $10,600, all right? And so I got this intentionally blank slide right here because what I'm about to say next, we're going to delete from the recording because it is only for you because you are here live, okay? And so artists, because you're here live, we're going to give you a free lifetime Artwork Gold account. That's a $1,200 a year value, all right? So normally it's $99 a month, but this is going to be free for you forever. So you get to upload unlimited art. You can access collectors globally, and many artists sell art in the first 7 days when they sign up for our program, all right? So again, you're just one collector away, man. So when you buy, for the artists that buy live by the end of the webinar, by going to Affluent Artist, you're going to get a lifetime Artwork Gold account, okay? So Affluent Artist, get started now, man. Go to affluentartist.com, join right now. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get an Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses that's going to help you jumpstart your art sales. Bonus number one is that luxury pricing method. Bonus number two is the automated collector system. And then bonus number three, when you pay in full, you'll be able to find your collectors with me, all right? That's a total value of $10,600, but we got a special 94% off for only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com. Also, if you need a payment plan, it's just $4.99 one time, then it's only $50 per month when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? If you need help ordering, you can text JOIN to 470-777-7549. And so again, artists are making sales with this every day, man. Here's my guy, Blue Robin right here. He sold his first piece. Diana said, happy Friday when you getting that money. Dwayne, he sold a piece right here. Santana, Mr. Bill sold a piece. And so at this point, man, I see some artists signed up and that makes me happy, all right? Let me jump back out. So if some of you still here though, I can tell you're getting ready to sign up, but you might have a question that you need answered before you make that decision. So let's address those questions in the time that we have left. And let me come back to make sure the screen is still sharing. All right. All right, so we're gonna go through a few FAQs. So one, what if I already have a website? If you aren't making sales on your website, you can send all your collectors to Artwork and use our automated collector system so you can eliminate hosting costs and those monthly fees, all right? Do collectors need an Artwork account? So collectors can buy as a guest, but we encourage them to get an Artwork account so they can track their art collection. How do I afford the investment? Man, it's a great question. So many artists afford the investment by pre-selling their art the same way Jasmine did. So you literally can use this free class that you're on right now. Secret number one taught you how to create your ART story. So you can start creating art stories. If you need help, you can use ChatGPT to leverage AI. Post your art story and your piece on social media with a call to action for collectors to buy. You can do this in pre-order prints or originals before they're done, all right? And you can use that to make the investment into the program. How do I make the time? So man, Brisha Jones, she's a single mom, and she used our success block to make the time to sell this piece for $2,572. All right. So the success block is really simple. We like to wake up an hour or two earlier in the morning and give our most refreshed, best version of ourselves to our visions. Okay. Man, if you get up and work on your art and your art business in the morning before you go to work, before you deal with family or friends, and just start giving yourself to the rest of the world, man, you're going to see some amazing results that you start getting. Okay. And that's different than waiting until the end of the day after you've helped family, friends, gone to work, and you're tired. And now you're giving like the most tired, depleted version of yourself to your career. Okay. So, man, make the time by establishing a morning success block, and you can watch yourself accomplish your goals. All right. So you can join to get more details on that when you go to affluentartist.com. Can I do this from anywhere in the world? Absolutely. If you have a Wi-Fi connection, man, you can do this from anywhere. So Miss Joy, she's in Canada. I'm in the United States. We are in Atlanta, Georgia. And as you see, Miss Joy is making that Canadian cash. So you can do this anywhere in the world as long as you got Wi-Fi. Some artists want to know, what if I'm just getting started? And I think that's a great question, man. I think if you just getting started, you have an advantage because you don't have any bad habits to unlearn, right? And so Tierra, man, she has one of my favorite stories. When she became an affluent artist, her kids were so inspired by her selling art that they began selling art too. And so Tierra, she taught the Affluent Artist Masterclass Secrets to her 2, 5, and 7-year-old sons. Okay. And so, man, she taught them how to set their prices, how to paint, how to take profit. And so they set a goal to make $250, but with the support of their family and friends, they made over $500, man. And that's just this is generation transformation right here. When you start creating art and selling it, and you start inspiring kids or other people in your family, man, there's going to be some powerful things that happen in your family. Okay. Some artists want to know, is the process too hard or technical? Listen, absolutely not, man. These artists, Miss Valerie, she was 68 and she sold over $10,000 in her first 4 months. All right. If a grandmother can do it, you can absolutely do it when you join at affluentartist.com. So artists, man, you got to get the resources or be resourceful. Okay. So Miss Stacy, when she was watching this class that you're on right now, she was having some financial issues as well. And she didn't know how she was going to be able to afford it, but she became resourceful and she got what she needed. And when she joined, she was so excited. She said, yes, it works. She said, made my call to a friend that said she wanted these paintings when they're done. I called and told her they was done. I told her she could buy one for $250 or 3 for $6. She took all 3. Man, so if Miss Stacy can do it, you can absolutely do it too when you become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com. Some artists want to know, is there too much competition? Listen, absolutely not, man. There's more than enough abundance for all of us to be wealthy, okay? And so listen, not only am I an artist, I'm a collector. And if you look around the home, I got all different type of artists from different parts of the world, man. And so like Miss Tasha selling art, Diana selling art, man, it's absolutely more than enough for all of us to make it, okay? All right, so you can get access to that when you join at affluentartist.com. I'm not sure my screen share and keep going off, all right? But we rocking and rolling. We're almost to the end. What is the artwork commission? So it's only 10%, and you keep your collector's data, all right? So galleries and dealers, they usually take 30 to 60% commission, and they don't give you their collector's data, which is the biggest problem, because if you don't have a direct relationship with the collector, you can't make follow-up sales, and most of the money is in the follow-up, all right? And so we give you access to your collector's information. So artists want to know, what budget do I need for ads? So listen, you can start with as little as $5 per day. And when you want to start making more money, just increase your ad spend and get more collectors and get more sales, okay? There's some more technical details to it, but it's really as simple as that. It's dollars in and dollars out. And so, man, we all know being a full-time artist beats working a 9 to 5, man. So Mia, when she started selling art, she sold this $2,000 commission to a collector for their 2-year-old bedroom. Man, just having fun, meeting new collectors, selling art for premium prices, man, it'll transform your life over working a 9 to 5, all right? And what I've learned doing this is it's really that community support that creates those successful habits that stick. Because when you see other artists getting after it, selling art, making money, you're inspired by them, man. And then that friendly competition kick in. It's like, man, if you can do it, I know I can do it, right? And that just put like a little fire under your butt to make you get going and start just being successful, man, because you see other people doing it. And so if you've been searching for a way to sell art, you know information alone is not enough, all right? There's a lot of videos on YouTube. You can Google, Instagram. You can read books, coaching. You need structure. You need a system. You need templates. You need mentorship. You need a community to help you. And so if you want to get booked and busy like Toya, go to affluentartist.com and join today, okay? And so artists, you got to ask yourself, like, really, do you want money or do you want excuses? Because we cannot have both, all right? We got to pick one or the other. And so like my guy, Jonte here, he decided that he wanted money. And so he ended up selling this $2,000 lamb piece to this lovely collector couple right here, okay? And so I want you to really calculate the true cost of inaction, because what if this helped you just start selling just one piece per week? Like, would that be worth $6.63 per day, right? Of course it would be worth that. But you got to really calculate what's the true cost of inaction and procrastinate and not investing in yourself. Like, is it really worth missing months of art sales because you're trying to save a few dollars per day, right? Because if you follow just one of the steps I shared on today's event, you can make a profit in the first week when you enroll at affluentartist.com today, okay? And so artists, again, man, some artists use family and friends as investors. Tell them that you got a plan, you got a process, a system to follow, you got mentorship and community, and ask somebody to invest into you, okay? Artists, they are asking their family and friends to invest into them, and this works as well. Also, PayPal can invest into you too. So PayPal Credit has a great option. You can go to paypal.com/credit to apply. You will know if you get approved within seconds, all right? And so they have no payments and no interest if you pay it in full in 6 months, all right? You got to pay in full, but if you use paypal.com/credit, see if you can get a credit line that way. Join the program, start selling your art, have PayPal make the investment into your education, sell your art, pay them back, all right? A lot of artists use that it flat out. Excuse me. A lot of artists use that it flat out works, all right? And so Affluent Artists, the time is now, man. Like when Raquel West, when she joined, she said, after connecting with Sherez and noting and actively implementing the wisdom that I learned without negotiation or hesitation, this collector purchased this piece at my $1,200 asking price. I am beyond grateful for the knowledge and the quick turnaround, all right? So let's accomplish your dreams together, man. Sign up at affluentartist.com because, listen, as a fellow artist, I know your struggle with selling art is real. But when that's gone from your life, how will you feel? Like, think about that. How much better will your life be when you can start selling art with ease? How much stress is working a job and never having enough money causing your mind and your body right now? All right. Man, I know it's stressful, man. But after you join, it's gone. Okay. It's like poof, like magic. Can you feel the difference? Just the lightness of having a system and having a community of people helping you. All right. And that starts by going to the link below and joining now. All right. So I'm going to walk you through the checkout process. Go to affluentartist.com and get started right now. So let me come out real quick. I want to walk you through the checkout process. So when you go to affluentartist.com, it'll bring you to our order page and you see it says, yes, Sherez, I'm in. So you still have a few days to get the special offer at this special price. Okay. So we're going to recap the offer right here. You will see the 10% money back guarantee. Just enter your name, your email, your phone number, your address, and then choose your payment plan. All right. If you want the pay in full option to get that powerful bonus where I hold your hand and show you how to get those high income collectors, you can choose that. If you need the payment plan option, choose this option right here. All right. Just choose either one, just like that. All right. If you like a one-on-one fast sales success call with our team, add that to your order as well. Okay. And then if you want to use PayPal, feel free to use PayPal. You can also use your credit or debit card, enter your 16-digit code, the expiration, month, year, your CVC, your country, your zip code, and click join now so you can enroll and become an affluent artist. All right. After you join, check your email for your receipt, for your welcome email, so you can get access to everything that you need. All right. And also look out for your authorization form. Okay. And so I don't see any questions. If you got a question, type it in the chat, but get started now, Affluent Artists, man. We're excited to have you in the program. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get your artwork gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get some powerful bonuses when you join today, okay? Bonus number 1, you get that luxury pricing method. Bonus number 2, you get that automated collector system. And when you pay in full, you'll be able to find your collectors with me when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? That's a total value of over $10,600, but we got a special 94% off for only $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com, all right? We also got a payment plan. It's $4.99 one time. Then it's only $50 a month when you become a member at affluentartist.com, all right? If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549. Again, you can text JOIN, JOIN, to 470-777-7549. All right, if you got a question, type your question in the chat. And if we don't have any questions, we'll be getting up out of here pretty soon, okay? Neil says, can you accept money from our profits? I don't have it to invest, so no, Neil. Unfortunately, we don't do that. We need you to invest so you got some real skin in the game to actually take action and get the results, okay? We don't let artists join for free and then make money from your profits because there's no guarantee that you're going to actually show up, do anything, or participate if you don't have real skin in the game, okay? But you are protected by your 110% money back guarantee, man. So if you make the investment, if you take action, any odd event that you don't sell art, we give you 100% and a 10% bonus just for trying the system out. All right. The masterclass begins immediately. Berla, great question. She after we join today. When does the masterclass begin? You get instant access to everything in the masterclass when you join now. Okay. You're going to get full instant access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get instant access to your Artwork Gold account. You get instant access to the Affluent Artist community. And you're going to get access to your bonuses inside the Affluent Artist Masterclass as well, okay? If you pay in full, we'll schedule, we do our pay in full call with our bonus artists to find those collectors every week, okay? So you get access to that link to how to book that as well when you join at affluentartist.com. Great question, all right? Excited to see you on the inside. Go ahead and enroll at affluentartist.com. Let us know in the chat when you get signed up, man. We're excited to have you in the program. You're also going to get a link to schedule your onboarding call with a member of our team so they can help you get set up to make sure that you get started on the right track, all right? Great question, great question. We got any more questions? Type your question in the chat. All right, want to stick around a few more minutes. This is your time. If you got any question, type it in the chat. If not, I'm going to do one last offer recap. And then we're going to go on about our evening, man, and get started serving the artists that enrolled today. All right. So again, Affluent Artists, man, I love doing these live. Congratulations to the artist that's joining. You still got a few days to join. For the artists that joined live today, you get the special bonus that I talked about earlier. All right. So get started, man. We're excited to serve you, man. We're artists, we're collectors, and man, we're actively working to help each other sell art, man. It's a beautiful community. I'm grateful to be able to do this as a part of my purpose, all right? So get started now, artists. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to your Artwork Gold account. You're going to become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get some powerful bonuses as well. You get that luxury pricing method. You're going to get that automated collector system template. All you got to do is fill in your art, your words, and your videos, and we're going to help you set up those Instagram ads to get collectors coming to you so they can talk to you about buying your art, man. It is powerful. It's going to blow your mind when you actually see everything when you put it together, okay? And then for artists that pay in full, you'll be able to find your collectors live with me, all right? That's a total value of $10,600, but you can join for a special 94% off for just $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com. If you need a payment plan, it's $4.99 one time, then it's only $50 a month when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. Again, if you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right. I don't see any more questions. Let me know when you join, Ms. Verla. We're excited to have you in the community, and we see everyone on the inside that enrolled. All right. If you haven't joined yet, you still got a few more days to watch the replay and access this special offer before the price increases, okay? So again, join at affluentartist.com. and I'm excited to see you on the inside. Everybody have a blessed night. Talk to you soon.